Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Ray, and if you're looking at this, I'm doing a reading on what is going on in the U.S. right now. I had to bust out my incense because the economic situation is literally, a lot of people are panicking, a lot of people are worried. So I'm here to kind of like let you know what's going to happen with investments in the stock market, what's going to happen with the economic and the world's economy, with Trump, imposing these tariffs and these other countries retaliating like China, etc. There's a lot of people that have lost money over the last couple of days in their stock market, in their cryptocurrency. So we're going to take a look and see what's messages spirit has. So this is going to be my psychic reading. Normally I don't get involved into politics on my channel or anything like that, but I felt like a lot of you have reached out and asked me to do this. So this is for you guys. All right. Let's see. I added a little fairy here in the backdrop as well. So hope you enjoy. I'm going to be starting off with my John Holland. It's the Psychic Tarot Oracle deck, and then I'll go into the regular Everyday Witch Tarot and see what messages we have here. So the first message that I'm getting here is conflict and defeat. So I feel like this is like a lot of like fears, and people, need to raise their vibrations and not fear. I know it's easier said than done. And for those of you that have lost money or have cryptocurrency and you've invested in, and I know it's scary, but stay strong. I do feel things are going to turn around. Look, prosperity begins. So we're going to have to go through a very hard, let me shift this camera down a little bit if I can. I feel like we're going to have to go through a very difficult period before it actually gets better. Okay. So again, it's going to be conflict and defeat. I feel like a lot of the other countries are going to kind of want to negotiate. They're going to want to come through with an agreement because everybody needs to be in peace, right? That's the goal. That's what most people want. Um, and I have here obstacles and challenges. So there are going to be obstacles. There are going to be challenges, for everybody that has lost money or people that are wondering, what's going to go on with the prices in the supermarkets. I mean, I went today to get eggs and it was like $9 for an 18 count of eggs, almost $10. I mean, that I've never seen those prices before in my life. But we have to eat, right? We have to pay. And I feel like this is causing a lot of mental conflict in the leaders in other countries and nations, but also around the world. There's just a lot of fear. There's a lot of panic. I know that there's been the hands off movement. I believe that's what it was called, where a lot of people were protesting in Washington, D.C. and Pennsylvania and other cities across the United States. And then I have here rest and rejuvenate. The best thing that we can do is pray and to rest. But I do feel like the things, are going to, if you really think about it, a lot of these countries have been tariffing us or like, imposing tariffs on the USA, but we never had that. And this is about, wisdom and power. The divine is obviously allowing this to happen now so that our nation can get stronger. And they want us to use this time right now as a collective to get closer to our loved ones, to strategize, to not be to be in harmony, not to be disconnected. Because I feel like everybody there's a full range of, from the deportations to now the tariffs to people losing money. There's just a lot of mixed emotions and a lot of strong emotions here. But Spirit is saying with the base chakra again, there's a lot of energy behind this at the soul level and at the chakra level. I do feel like choose wisely. So they're saying, I feel like from now until July, we're going to start seeing things kind of taper off. But from now until July, it's the economic state of the world is going to be up and down. Like there's going to be losses financially for a lot of people, but there's also going to be choices that have to be made. Do you sell your cryptocurrency? Do you get rid of your stock? Do you, buy into the stock now? I feel like a lot of people that have crypto, this is a perfect time to invest in it. But I also feel like there's a lot of emotional loss for those of you that have built a foundation. Will it get better? I definitely feel like this is going to be a fertile period for us. In the next 3 months, which, like I said, would lead into summer. right around July. So if you're looking at this, just know that I am telling you that around July, I feel like things do taper off and we find the balance. And going into the end of the year, there's a lot of balance and harmony restored. And I think that we'll start seeing our economic growth coming up. But there is a lot of deception and envy going on. Remember, a lot of what you see in the social media on these news channels and what they have their own agenda. But they're saying here, stand your ground, and I feel like this is the message for the United States to keep standing your ground firm, no matter where you are. Don't give in to the fear because there's a lot of fear, and that's not a high vibration. Look, material harvest. There is going to be a stimulus given to the American people at some point. Money is coming in. It is going to be coming in, but maybe not so soon. And I do feel like material and spiritual prosperity. So, I mean, I'm not making this up. I'm shuffling the cards. I'm pulling this out. I feel like Spirit's saying, like, we're going to go through a rough patch, which a lot of people have predicted this. There's going to be a rough patch financially and economically, and then it's going to get better. But it's like we have to undo a lot of the archetypal or the archetypes, that have been formed. There's been so much paradigms and archetypes that these are coming down like a tower card. It's crumbling down. The system is crumbling down, and it's crumbling down to make way for rewards and recognition. So even though I know a lot of people are not sharing the vision of a lot of the political parties that are in power right now, there is patience and planning. All of this has been planned for months. I feel like none of this is because a certain person had a tantrum and wanted to do this. Like I feel like it was methodically done by a group of people. And if you think about who's in power right now, it is Trump. It is uh, Elon. I feel like again the crown chakra. Elon is not definitely not from this world. He has a lot of starseed energy, and I do feel, and I keep seeing that number seven. Remember, what did I tell you? July. I have seven, seven, and then there were some other sevens here in the reading. If I go back and look at the cards, there's a lot of that there. So right around July, again, I feel like just hold on. There's going to be movement, choices, and decisions. I feel like a lot of these countries are going to pull away. Some of them are going to partner with us, or there's going to be like an agreement signed. And this is international as well, but this is like exposing the shadow work. This is a battle between the light and the dark. A lot is being exposed right now, at least for the next year to 2 years. There's going to be a lot being exposed, but a lot of us are suffering in silence. A lot of people are going to be suffering in silence because, again, this can easily tear apart families, uh, relationships, friendships, but there's going to be a fulfillment of wishes. I feel like we're going to be entering a fruitful period. And look, there's going to be foundation and achievements for families specifically. There's going to be help. Help is on the way, meaning like there are going to be um, there is going to be more money in the economy for people and families to survive. One of the things that I know that Trump wanted to do was to remove the IRS or to at least like reduce their say. And so I do feel like that is something that is going to take some time. But I do feel right now again there's like a lot of disruption and a lot of people are like um, thinking did they make a mistake voting for him and whatnot. But we're going through a period of transformation. Whether it would have been him or Kamala or someone else, there would be a transformation. This is a test of our spiritual strength. Remember, this is also in Chinese astrology. It's the year of the snake, and we're shedding the old, right? Just like a snake sheds its skin. We are shedding the old ways and beliefs that no longer work for the USA. But this is a waiting game to see over the next 2 months. It is going to be a waiting game to see if these other countries get in. But this is bringing a lot of the light. I feel like this is what we can do as light workers is to continue to send love, positivity, bring the light, and hold the line for for all of us that are light workers. And because there's a lot of darkness right now trying to infiltrate. But I do feel like this is going to be a period where a lot of people within a year from now are going to be able to reap those rewards and look back at all of this chaos and kind of feel like, over the next year to 2 years and feel like we made progress, victory, and success here. So again, I know that it's hard to see the bigger picture, but I feel like it's all going to work out. So I'm going to pull now some cards from the tarot deck that I have, and this incense smells so good. This is the incense. If somebody's asking or wanting to know what I have here, this is Teakwood and Tobacco by this company is called PF Candle Company. I highly recommend this scent. Smells so divine. If you ever get a chance to get it, I think I got that in. It was in Houston, I believe, and it was at in City Center. They have like if you're ever in Houston City Center, they have that. They have a shop there that sells that incenses and candles. So, all right, let's get into the tarot portion of this reading. So, I hope all of you are doing good. Remember, if you want to follow more insights, I'm going to be posting like a report on my Patreon. So, go to www.patreon.com/psychic medium Ray for more updates and predictions on this whole economic situation with crypto and everything. But also, if you want to book a private reading, all of my readings are 30% off. And if you buy any emergency reading, you get one free. So it's buy one, get one free for my emergency readings and my video readings. All right. So for those two readings, you can buy one, you get one free. So let's see what's coming up here, what Spirit has to say about this. So again, the Four of Swords, it's almost like this is a resting period. This is where a lot of people are not buying, a lot of people are not spending because, again, there's this fear of like what's going to happen to the economy. But I feel like instead of not spending, you need to actually spend now because I feel like this is going to pump money into the economic. These are a lot of people grappling a lot of fear. Fear brings on problems, a lot of baggage, a lot of feeling like you're going through quicksand. But look, Mother Earth is also resetting itself. This is like is all going to work out, is what I feel, and I do feel like this is a time to go deep within to ask yourself what is it that you really want, because the Nine of Cups is about wealth, but it also there's a lot of temptation there. But look, the Fool card, there's new beginnings ahead for us. So we're entering a period of new beginnings, and there's going to be celebrations here. This is the Six of Pentacles, so there's going to be money giving back. Like there's going to be money coming in, but we're also moving forward. We're not taking crap anymore from other countries. And look, celebrations, like I said, the Three of Cups. So there's going to be a positive outcome for everybody involved. But I do feel, look, happier times. We are divinely protected and guided. I just feel like, again, this is kind of like would represent, our country, and having some power back, and also powerful leaders being in alliance with us. So a lot of countries are going to get with the program. But look, there's going to be tower moments. Like I said, there's going to be some that are going to resist this change. And I'm talking about other countries. But we are birthing a new a new us as a whole, we the people. And this is going to require a lot of work and creativity. But I do feel like at first, we're kind of feeling like the Hermit card. We're feeling as a nation kind of divided. We're feeling like nothing is going to get better, but it is all strategic, So I can sit here all day and tell you it's gonna be a certain way, but again, nobody really knows all the answers. I trust Spirit, and I trust what the cards show me as well. But I do feel, again, there's going to be a lot of stuff that you see on the news, on social media and the news outlets. A lot of it's propaganda. A lot of it is to cause fear, to create division. Don't believe everything that you feel and everything that you see, but do have faith that things are going to, it's not the end of the world. And no, we're not going to, go into like this deep depression, like, in the 1920s or whatever time period it was that we went through that in the 1900s. I definitely feel though it's going to take some time to get adjusted to all of this. But like I said, I feel like we are going to finally, at some point within the next year, feel relief, and we're going to see that in all areas of our life. So I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to smash the like button. Remember to hit subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and I will be having more videos of celebrity readings coming out soon. All right, guys, I love you so much. Until next time, bye.